Kenneth Ferguson is demonstrating the simulated oil platform at the headquarters of the Kenson group of companies in San Fernando. His eyes light up as he checks gauges and opens valves, shouting over the roar of engines to explain what he's doing.
It's a tricky operation, be very careful. But if you don't hold a good level, all the level, you have to hold a good pressure and a good level.
You can see this is a man with a passion. It's a passion that has helped him to lead a group that not only supplies services to multinational oil companies, but also trains skilled staff for those companies and others around the world. The Kenson Group began with Kenson Production Services Limited in 1996, with a staff consisting of Ferguson and 2 colleagues. Now, the group employs over 350 people and has trained more than 2,000. Ferguson was working with Amoco, where he was a superintendent. He'd worked in the teak, salmon, and pui fields. He had been selected to be sent to a floating platform in the South China Seas, and then was based for several years in the Philippines. His future as an employee of a multinational energy company was bright. But that wasn't enough for someone with his determined, enterprising spirit. Ferguson didn't have an easy start in life. He grew up in Balandra, where his father was the overseer of a large estate. After primary school, Ferguson became an errand boy in the beach houses on the estate where his father worked. One day, one of the guests asked him what he wanted to do with his life. "Go to college," said young Ferguson, but he was too old. The guest, Hugo Delmas, didn't think so.
And Monday he took me to Benedict's College and met Don Basil Matthews. Don Basil Matthews, I was sitting on the bench when he was talking to Don Basil Matthews, if he can take me in. The Don said, "But Hugo, this boy is 14 going to 15. We normally start college here 11, 12 for the latest." They will try me in Form 2. They say there's a dance class they call 2D, A, B, C, D. We'll give him a try in 2D.
Delmas lived in La Romaine and worked in the oil fields, and Ferguson would visit the rigs with him. That chance meeting changed his life. He spotted his next big break in 1973. Amoco, now BPTT, had found oil off the East Coast and needed platform operators. He did well with the company, and yet when it offered VSEP 2 decades later, he unexpectedly chose to take up the offer.
So I decided, well, listen, this is an opportunity for me to make a contribution back to society, right? Which is, if I form a company, which I did, then I'll be able to employ people.
It's not that Ferguson isn't afraid to take chances. He feels the fear and does it anyway. That's why, when he spotted a gap in the energy sector, he went for it, even though it meant leaving a secure, well-paid career.
You see, in life, sometimes you have to make things happen. You understand? Don't wait for it to happen. So I said, let me try that and make it happen.
Advice he followed successfully several times. He'd realized there were no midstream local companies to supply platform services once oil was found, to keep production running smoothly and safely. So, he set up his own company of 3. Luckily, Kenson's Production Services' first commission was a small one, to operate Moravian's Mora platform. They successfully reopened 2 old wells on the platform, and as oil flowed once again, other jobs poured in. In 1998, the company was doing well, only to run into a labor shortage because 25 of its employees were poached by other companies. Skilled, experienced labor was hard to find.
I had to do my training. I did what they call, I call the course job-specific type training relative to platform operation, right? So what that means is I've taken guys who have completed the technical diploma from the technical school.
Then, the multinationals began poaching Kenson's graduate trainees too. Again, Ferguson saw a gap in the market that he could fill. The group expanded the school, and it was certified and accredited. Ferguson has also given back generously in other ways. The Kenson Group of companies also has a sense of social responsibility, making donations to charitable NGOs, such as the Red Cross and the Soroptimist Club. The group has rebuilt 2 houses in Mbakede for needy families. Over the years, Kenneth Ferguson and the Kenson group of companies have taken some big risks, and they've paid off.
We pride ourselves in ensuring that the people we send offshore are highly trained, not only in operation, but in safety.
Thanks to its excellent safety record, the Kenson Group has won recognition from multinational companies including BPTT and BHP Billiton, such as BP's Best Safety-Oriented Contractor Award in 2000. They're testimony to a record of excellence that Kenson has built up since Kenneth Ferguson started his company from an office below his house over 20 years ago. It is therefore with great pleasure that the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce presents the Kenson Group of Companies with this year's award in the category of Internationally Known, TNT Owned.